Hello and welcome to the Cedric Podcast. My name is Kimberly George, and I am Cedric's Global Chief Brand Officer and host of today's conversation. Be sure and hit the like and subscribe buttons so you never miss an episode. Today's conversation will center around disability claims management, leave of absence administration, and job accommodations, which are part of our workforce absence business. This is the business unit I started in at Cedric nearly 25 years ago, and it's grown to over 9 million lives covered and includes nearly 8,000 colleagues. As the industry leader within this space, we simplify the process of requesting and managing employee absences. Our clients get a custom leave and disability program that is efficient to implement, compliant with regulations and policies, and uses Cedric's proprietary AI-enabled software solutions. We're fortunate today to have Claire Hoogland with us. Claire is one of Cedric's senior program design experts within business development, working alongside our customers and business partners. Welcome to the show, Claire.
Thanks so much for having me today, Kimberly.
Why don't we start with you introducing yourself and providing an overview of your background?
Sure. Just like you, I have also been at Cedric for 25 years. Like you said, my name is Claire Hoogland. I'm an SVP of Business Development for our Disability and Absence Management line of businesses. I have been in various roles at Cedric for those 25 years, but I've spent the most time in our client services, account management, and business design and development. My passion is with providing our current and future clients and partners, consultants with great service, expertise, and taking away confusion and obstacles.
You're a great consultant to our clients. I remember when you were in client services, and it was an easy transition for you over into business development because you know not only how our programs implement, but the value we bring to our clients and really what our clients are looking for. So it's been a great ride for you. And I'm really thrilled that you recently had your promotion to SVP. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Okay, let's get started. And first, how about you describe our workforce absence business to the audience? I know sometimes people don't know what workforce absence entails over here at Cedric.
Yes, you know it, Cedric. Kimberly, we like to use what I refer to as Cedric slang, and workforce absence or WFA fits right in there. So, what that really means is the administration of disability, leaves of absence, and accommodations. And what Cedric provides customized solutions for those. We want to be that end-to-end provider or solution for an employer. And we start from doing intake all the way to handling accommodations for somebody if they're not quite ready to go back to work, or helping that employee get back to work. We want to ensure they're healthy, but we also know that our employers, customers, and clients need people back at work. So we want to ensure that we're moving them through that process, whether that's engaging clinicians, whether that is enabling AI to fast track the claims process, to get information quicker to our case managers at the desk level so they can truly focus on managing that claim to thoroughness, but also making sure that we're getting people back to work quickly and efficiently.
That's fantastic. And I want to ask you real quick, customer experience matters a lot to our clients in the workforce absence space. And you may be touching on this later in our conversation, but I think it's great to start with that. And how do we deliver exceptional customer service so that the employees that are looking to us to help them have a great experience?
That's a great question, and there's a lot of answers probably to that, but I think the easiest way to explain it is that we pride ourselves on designing and delivering programs not only for the employer, but we want to reflect their culture. We want to act as an extension of them to their employee because we know that employees may never need a disability or leave during their whole career, or they might want use it one time. And we want to make sure that we're helping them through that cycle because they don't probably know the process, and it could be a time of grief, it could be a time of joy for them. And so we want to make sure that we are acting as an extension of that employer, really reflecting their culture and agreeing upon service expectations. Sedgwick prides itself on having our own internal service expectations that we hold our case managers and ourselves to, but we also recognize that our customers have performance guarantees and KPIs that they need to hit, and they need us to hit those. So we want to make sure that we're incorporating those as well. And then taking into consideration all their plan designs. That can be from their short-term disability plan. We know FMLA, leave of absence, paid family leaves are cumbersome and complex. And so we want to make sure that we are designing and delivering a program around their unique plan designs.
That's perfect. Thank you for that. And it's a perfect segue. I want to ask you about paid family leave, and we're mid year, so employers are rapidly finalizing what's ahead in 2026 for paid family leave. What do you see happening next year?
Oh, a lot. Paid family leaves have been on everybody's mind. They're coming fast and furious from a lot of different states. We have a lot that are already in play, but in 2026, we're going to see several new states rolling out their own paid family medical leave programs. That'll be in Delaware, Maine, Maryland, and Minnesota. They're all on deck to roll out in 2026, a couple in the beginning and then two towards the middle of the year. I think in the past, Kimberly, a lot of our clients have had maybe an easier decision to say, oh, we want to ensure a statutory plan. That's what we're going to do. That's our mission, our plan. But now I think it's become so complex that everybody has to look at each state individually. You can't paint it with that broad brush. These programs are designed to support employees who need time off to care for their new child or a seriously ill family member or their own serious health condition. So for employers, this expansion raises an important question. Do you go with a state plan? Do you opt into a private solution? So I think it's taking a lot more time for employers and maybe their consultants to help them figure out what is the right move. Because again, like I said, I just don't think you can paint a broad brush stroke anymore. One state might be one solution, another state might be a different solution. State plans are usually the default, but they can be rigid and less tailored to your workforce. So again, we talked about making sure we're an extension of the culture. Employers need to make sure if they're going with a state plan, does that fit with their culture and what they're trying to provide for their employees? And then private plans. They offer more flexibility. They can be integrated with existing benefits strategy as long as they meet or exceed the state requirements. So that's something key for employers to keep in mind if they do go the private plan route. And then in some states like New Hampshire and Vermont, participation is voluntary, giving employees even more control, which is a nice feature for that to have. The key, I think, here is to evaluate your workforce needs, the cost structure. That's always going to be an important key factor in any decision an employer makes. And then the kind of employee experience you want to deliver. It's not one size fits all anymore.
Yeah, for sure. It's not one size fits all.
Mm-mm.
I've heard quite a bit of chatter around parental leaves, caregiving leaves, and the morphine into maybe a family care leave. Caregiving's been a growing employee challenge, whether it's children or parents, family members. Do you see this in your work?
We absolutely do, and seen a dramatic uptick in employers that are providing these types of leaves. I think we saw as we've come out of COVID that employees needed something to care for sick or ill family members. And so it was a way for employers to offer something to keep their employees happy, keep them potentially at work if they can provide an intermittent coverage, or give them that brief time off that they may need to help a family member and then get back to work. And so ever since COVID, we have seen a drastic increase in that offering from our clients to their employees, whether, we've seen it called several different things, a caregiver leave, a parental leave. I think it started more as a parental leave, but now it's morphed into a caregiver leave because that might mean something different for different employees. I think we'll continue to see those if we have clients or employers that are in those states where the statutory paid family leaves have not yet been rolled out. A lot of employers want to offer their own kind of type of paid family leave or caregiver leave, right? It's one way to provide coverage for your employees, but it's also a way to be competitive in the marketplace when you're trying to attract and retain talent, is to
Yeah.
offer those extra benefits.
Yeah, thanks for talking about that. I really believe that there'll even be more in 2026. This crosses all generations for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's shift to AI. And can you describe AI in the claims process, either what's in place or what we're thinking about?
Yes, and I think this is, a buzzword, obviously, in the market
Yeah.
space, probably, well, in the world in general, right? It's at everybody's fingertips. But I think when it comes to handling disability or leave claims, people can get nervous, right? What does that actually mean? So I want to be clear, first and foremost, that AI is not making claim decisions for our disability and absence clients. We still have human beings that are making those claim decisions. So still a human responsibility. AI is helping us work smarter. We're using AI to analyze patterns across our large book of data. This allows to predict which cases may transition to long-term disability, where we can engage clinical resources earlier, which then we know can help improve outcomes and reduce time away from work. We're also using AI to help detect potential fraud in FMLA cases by spotting unusual patterns or inconsistencies that might, go unnoticed otherwise. Our own leave software does have absence pattern tracking built into it already. It always has, but AI is going to help us take that up in one step further, right? We are all about using technology to enhance, not replace the human touch. And it helps us to act faster, more accurately, better insight, but every decision still involves a trained professional, whether it's for disability or leave.
Yeah, I've heard our chief digital officer, Leah Cooper, say on many occasions our AI helps humans be more human, so that we can actually spend more time with the people we're trying to help. So
I love
thank
that.
you.
That's a great way to
Yeah.
put it. Yeah.
All right. Mental health is on everyone's radar. And for those that know me, they know that I'm a fierce advocate for breaking down stigma and really supporting mental health and well being in the workplace and for those we serve. What are you seeing in your business, Claire, around mental health?
And I agree, Kimberly. This is on everybody's radar, and then I'm passionate about it as well. But we have seen mental health now overtake musculoskeletal and non-pregnancy diagnoses as a leading cause of short-term disability claims. I would say, since I've been doing this, there's typically the same top three, top five diagnoses, I should say, and mental health has moved to the top, right, of that across our book of business. Um, we've also noticed that mental health claim relapse rate. So if someone goes out on a disability, goes back to work for a quick period of time and goes back out on a short-term disability claim, it's 1.5 times higher than a non-mental health claim. That's pretty high statistic, right? And so, um, obviously, we talked a little bit earlier about we have a lot of data here at Sedgwick, in where we're using AI to do analysis or predict clinical. Can we get these cases to a clinician faster, which includes mental health? We also wanted to use our data to do a study. Charlie Woosley, who is responsible for our data of our workforce absence, looked at about 9,300 employees. And the purpose of this study was to analyze the life cycle of a behavioral health diagnosis to identify trends, patterns, and behaviors driving the total spend in the utilization while trying to assess and improve the overall employee experience. They found some really interesting information. 31% had a prior claim within the 12 months before their mental health leave. So if you think about that, there could be something else that happened first, and as a result of that claim, they opened up a mental health short-term disability claim. 34% had a subsequent claim within the 12 months after their mental health claim, and 40% had multiple claims over the study period. And then from a demographic standpoint, women had 3 times the incident rate of men. Millennials had the highest mental health incident rate of all the generations. What does this cost? Employers, while they care about their employees, this is costly. An average cost per employee is $15,000. Multiple claims for a claimant can be $23,000 versus $10,000 for a one-time claimant. So this is adding up and can be adding up. Absenteeism, employees with multiple claims lost about 148% more days. And then employment outcomes, 50% of the employees were terminated by the end of our study. And then Gen Z had the highest termination rate at 71%. These are pretty staggering, interesting, but staggering statistics. So we have some recommendations, and we're trying to utilize, again, we talked about AI, but preventative, right? Health assessments, benefit awareness, and frontline support. The key would be obviously to prevent someone from even having a mental health issue to begin with, right? So we want to, if we can help our clients, the employers, do any kind of preventative health assessment, benefit awareness, frontline support. If someone's already out on a short-term disability case, we can do a text blast to them, reminding them, hey, you have the option to do a health assessment. You have the option for these mental health benefits. Did you know? So something we can do there to hopefully prevent them from going out again. Operational, we think clinical roundtables, claim checkpoints, integrating an EAP vendor solution are always great things. Sedgwick is always willing to push data to any one of our clients' point solutions or disease management programs. And so if we can do that and then encourage engagement or increase engagement on behalf of the employer, we're happy to help do that. Return to work. Return to work programs, most of our clients have global return to work programs, but maybe it's time to start looking at mental health specific return to work programs. What does that look like, right? And maybe that goes beyond just getting that employee back to work, but maybe helping the leader with some training of how to help someone with mental health issues or diagnoses get back to work and how to work with them in the workplace so they can keep them at work. And then we can use data. I keep going back to data and strategy, but doing socioeconomic analysis. So I talked about the Gen Z had the highest termination rate. I talked about millennials having the most mental health claims. So continuing to do some analysis on that. Severity modeling, and then success metrics. So looking at programs where we've implemented some of these things, are we seeing success, and can we help our clients and customers that way?
Yeah, it is so interesting. Employers have been adding and revising point solutions around mental health for quite some time. And while I don't know the statistics of engagement right off the top of my head, I think that, that's what's so key and helping people engage at a time they need it, and then ensuring access to care if in fact they need some support beyond. But really great information, Claire, and suggestions for the clients. I know we're spending a lot of time thinking about it, and certainly our audience can tell you are as well.
Oh, yes.
So let's move on. The Disability Management Employer Coalition's annual conference will take place August 4th through the 7th in Washington, D.C. Led by CEO Brian Bass, formerly of Sedgwick, DMEC is the premier organization focused on education for absence and disability management professionals. Claire, what are you looking forward to most at this year's conference? It's right around the corner.
It is right around the corner. I can't believe summer is going by this quickly. But I have a couple things I'm excited about. One is always seeing our clients. I love when our clients come and visit our booth. And whether it's during a break or during a dessert with exhibitors. I love when our clients come and visit us and say hello, and we get a chance to see them face to face. And then new people too. We always get new people that are curious about what we do. So I love that kind of interaction. And then I'm also proud because some of my coworkers are speaking this year during DMEC. So Charlie Woosley is talking about AI, and he is responsible for our data team, data scientists here at Sedgwick for workforce absence. And then Sarah Elder and Katie Aldridge are also speaking about accommodations, which is another hot topic for our clients, and I know most employers today. So I'm excited to hear what they have to say, and just excited for the conference in general.
Yeah, DMEC is the place to be seen and learn and share and collaborate if you're in the disability and absence business, for sure, no question. Well, Claire, we are up on time. This went by so fast. What a great guest you've been, and I thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had a great time.
And thanks to our audience for tuning in. Please be sure and hit the like and subscribe buttons on your way out so you never miss an episode. Take care, everybody.